Welcome back to the Fitness Empowerment Podcast. I'm Danye Phillips, the diet doc of Shreveport Bossier, certified personal trainer and fitness nutrition specialist, nationally qualified NPC bikini bodybuilder, social media content creator, and lifestyle entrepreneur. Let's dive in to today's topic. Alrighty, proactive versus reactive nutrition tracking. It's super frustrating when you've tracked all of your food for the week and you get your check-in email from your coach and you find out that you have, in fact, not met your weekly nutrition goals. What happened, you ask yourself? Where did I go wrong? Well, I'm going to share with you the most common mistake I see when this is happening to a particular client. I like to choose topics that are relevant to either myself or my clients to discuss, and the reason I do this is because the likelihood of someone else listening and going through the same struggle or having the same question is quite high. In fact, I often find that I'll start answering emails and the questions like over and over and over again for different clients, and I hit this aha moment. It's like the trend is here. So today's trend and the most recent aha moment I've had revolves around tracking. Many of you may know that I track my macronutrients, or my fats, my carbs, and my proteins on almost a daily basis, especially when I'm in a season or phase of dieting for a bodybuilding show. You may be saying, well, Danye, I'm not dieting for a bodybuilding show, so how is this going to apply to me? I'm a lifestyle person or a lifestyle client. I just want to be, simply healthy and happy. My response to you is, well, this is a good question. If you are in a place where you are really happy with your body composition and your weight and how you look and feel, and you're not in a dieting phase of life, or you don't have any specific goals in mind for your fitness and health right now, then maybe this episode is not for you, and that is totally okay. Now, if you do have a specific goal, or maybe a photo shoot or an event coming up that you want to look and feel fabulous for, and you are in a dieting phase of life, which is where most of my clients are, is they want to lose about maybe 20 to 30 pounds. They want to feel better. They want more energy. They have some specific goals. They want to hit a certain number on a scale. They want to fit into a specific clothing size. So if that is you, then this episode is definitely for you. Every week I log into MyFitnessPal and I check in on my clients' diary entries in order to provide them a nutritional analysis and spreadsheet and give them feedback on their previous week's intake, as well as goals and a way forward for the upcoming week. Sometimes, and they don't always know this, but I go into their diaries more than once per week and I check in just to make sure that the client is tracking correctly. This is especially helpful, I believe, in the first month or so of coaching with a new client, because they might be new to tracking or they're new to using MyFitnessPal and they need a little bit of extra guidance. And they might be potentially worried to ask for that extra help, or worried that they're, annoying me or asking too many questions, which is definitely not the case. The clients and the people that I work with that get the best results are the ones that ask the most questions, they're the most engaged, and they really, truly want to learn. So hopefully that's you and you're listening. What I have found, though, with many of my newer clients, or when there's days or weeks that become really, really busy with work or kids or travel or whatever it might be, is that the tracking happens after the fact, or as a reaction versus tracking before a food item or meal is eaten. What I mean by reactive is the food entered into MyFitnessPal was entered after it was eaten, whether immediately after the meal or at the end of the day or sometimes at the end of the week. That's all reactive after the fact. I'm honestly sometimes impressed when I notice a client hasn't tracked all week and then Sunday, all of a sudden, all their information for the week has been entered. My hope, though, when I see that this happens is that that person wrote down the food on paper somewhere or tracked it somewhere and then transferred the information over to the app later on. This, though, is still reactive. So what's wrong with the reactive piece of this? Well, unless you're a supercomputer and an expert in all things nutrition, you don't exactly know what is in the food you're eating or how much of the food you're eating unless you weigh it out or portion it out and track it in an app or in a diary of some sort. So step one, let's just break this down and keep it simple, of effective nutrition tracking is as simple as it gets. You just have to track. Log into the app, MyFitnessPal, or your app of choice, go into your diary settings, click on the meal you want to add food into, and either scan the barcode or search for the food item you plan to eat. I'm so sorry. If you can hear my dogs, I'm sitting outside again, and they're heavy breathers. Django, go lay down. Go lay down. Hey, I see you, buddy. Go lay down. So for the first 1 to 2 weeks, while I'm figuring out what someone's baseline intake is or what they normally eat on an average daily basis, I don't care too much if the tracking happens after the fact because I haven't given out a goal yet. I tell my clients to eat their normal food when they first start because I want to see what they eat on that normal daily basis. I don't want to see what they eat in their kind of, dieting mindset. I want them to eat when they're hungry. I want them to stop eating when they are no longer hungry. So you might be rolling your eyes right now saying, Danye, I don't have time to track. I have way too much going on. It takes a lot of time. I need the tips, tricks, and hacks, like cut the crap. That's fine. I'm not here to convince you that this is going to be easy or simple. I'm just simply here to share the facts. I just want you to understand if you have a specific goal that you want to meet and you don't put a specific proactive method into place to meet that goal, then you will not meet that goal. So I give goals weekly to each client concerning their nutrition intake, and based on each macronutrient goal, so your fats, your carbs, and your protein, the client needs to tailor and track their nutritional needs according to those goals. So tracking is a form of accountability to that precision goal. Here's an example set of macronutrients for a client. So per day, let's just say for these scenarios, you have 100 grams of protein, 150 grams of carbohydrates, and 40 grams of fat. If I eat 4 times per day, then I will divide by 4 and aim for 1/4 of my total daily macronutrients in each meal. So for each meal, I would want to aim for a meal that has 25 grams of protein, about 37.5 grams of carbs, and 10 grams of fat per meal. So if you desire to meet those goals every day and you track your food after you eat it, then when you look back at your day, you may or may not have hit your goal. You're kind of playing a guessing game. Let's take the guessing out of it. When you wonder why you aren't meeting your goals or are trying to figure out how to better meet your goals, and you are not tracking your food ahead of time and planning out your day's worth of meals ahead of time, then it is really hard to estimate what you are eating and if that food will meet your goals. There are also a lot of quote unquote healthy foods out there that may not meet your goals. And that might be because you're having too much of them. And it's definitely possible to have too much of a good thing. When you do have too much of a good thing, then you're going to have to give up something somewhere else. I'll give you a few examples here. You arrive home from work and grab a handful of unsalted almonds as a snack before dinner. Almonds are a well-known healthy source of fat, but they are a very high amount of fat for a very small amount of almonds. 1 ounce or approximately 23 almonds is 14 grams of fat. That's a lot of fat for a little bitty amount of almonds. I don't know what the serving size of 1 handful is or what that amounts to, but I'm gonna guess that it's probably different for everyone. I know a lot of people, this is example 2. I know a lot of people who are super coffee snobs, and I love these people, and I'm putting my finger on my nose right now, and if you are a coffee snob and you're listening to this, you are just laughing because you know what that means. But I say this with great love. These people refuse to add non-fat or low-fat milk in their espresso beverages. There is so nothing wrong with that, I promise you. There are some days where I have full-fat milk in my beverages, and there are some days where I have non-fat milk. But if you have a fat budget for the day of 40 grams of fat and your beverage with full fat milk in it has 8 grams of fat, then whatever you have to complement your coffee or espresso beverage in that meal needs to be low fat in order to stay under that 10 grams of fat per meal budget. If that person decided to have 2 whole eggs accompanying their coffee, that would again add in another 10 grams of fat to their day. Totally nothing wrong with this, but at this point, we're looking at 18 total grams of fat in the breakfast. And then between the coffee and the 2 whole eggs and add in the almonds, that's 32 grams of fat for the whole day. And I didn't even mention what this person might have had for lunch or dinner, and we didn't even talk about carbs or protein. We were specifically focusing on fat in this particular example. This is over 3/4 of our 40 grams of fat that we allotted for the day. So you can see the rest of the meals or the rest of the items in each meal would need to be much lower in fat or no fat in order to meet your daily goals for the other macronutrients. I hope this is coming together for you. As you can see, starting to track ahead of time will help you to portion out your day more effectively and balance out your meals. The art of tracking is simple, and it does take time to learn how to do. I won't lie to you. It's not easy. Simple, yes. Easy, no. I see it in a way kind of like a to-do list, or when you have a ton of ideas and you know that you're just not going to remember them all unless you write them down. Once I track my meal or write it down or cross it off, I can release that from my brain and from having to use that brain power to remember what I ate and how much. I put it in the app, it's been recorded, and I can use my brain power to remember something else. Now, when I go to make my next meal, I can look at my app, see my totals for the day, and prepare my next meal based on what I have left in my macronutrient budget. Or if I've already planned out everything that I want to eat for the day, then I just have to open the app and say, what did I plan for my lunch? How much should I measure out and portion out of the individual items for my lunch? Cool, it's already there for you. The work's already done. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to this segment of the Fitness Empowerment Podcast. I certainly hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and you want to listen to the full-length episodes, then please head on over to iTunes or SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Outcast, Google Play, Pocket Casts, and all the links will be in the description box below. And I can't wait to see you over on those other platforms for the complete episodes. Thanks so much, and I'll see y'all there. Bye.